Hi, this is Mariah Gullo from The Hollywood Reporter, and this is Meet Your Nominee. I have with me Emily V. Gordon and Kumail Nanjiani, nominated for Best Original Screenplay for The Big Sick.
That's right.
Yes.
Meet us.
Okay, so question to you. This is the best movie idea that's come out of your real life. I think we can say that, knowing that you've been nominated for an Oscar.
I would say that's true.
Probably
yes.
true, yeah.
Yes.
So, do you have a real life event that might be the worst movie idea?
Oh,
Most of our days are terrible movie ideas.
I think because most days are boring. So,
Yeah.
and you don't want to watch that as a movie unless
No.
it's like an art piece.
It'll be just us watching movies and playing video games and doing interviews.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One time, someone talked to my sister about tomatoes when we were younger, and she started throwing up because she hates tomatoes, and then that made my neighbor throw up, which then made me throw up. So then it was just literally like 4 or 5 young, like preteen girls vomiting on a driveway. That probably would be a bad movie.
I think that could be a good movie. And the whole time I was like, oh, I guess we have our next project.
Yeah, the vomit story.
Yeah, just like a group.
Dog food and
throw up.
tomatoes. If you just talk about those around my sister, she will hurl. And then
Yeah.
it did inspire, like in
An orgy of puke.
yeah, like in Stand By
Stand By
Me.
Me.
Yeah, similar. So that's already been done. We can't even do it.
And it's a small part of a big, great movie.
Whereas
so.
that would be the entire
But now
movie.
we're taking a magnifying glass to that little scene.
What is?
And
Let's
making
dig
that,
in. Yeah.
Make that a movie.
And then you've got to still be in it. So also with these preteen girls, there's got to be like a man in his 30s.
I'll be the guy who shows up later to clean up the vomit.
You'll clean it up.
Yeah.
And then it becomes your story.
I show up in Act 3.
Okay.
Just with
So we have other
paper
stories.
towels. Yeah.
A hose.
Yeah.
For your next project, would you want to do something that's like a real palate cleanser from doing the real life thing? Because I assume that a lot of people have really dissected your life in the past year.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we would do something that's not so obviously autobiographical. Obviously, everything you write.
You put yourself in.
Yeah, you put yourself in, so it'll be that, but it won't be so obviously and nakedly our life.
Yeah,
right?
I agree. I
Yeah,
100%
we need to
agree.
we
Just
need
take
to-
a breather. Small.
I want to
breather.
play someone named not Kumail. That's the next thing.
That
I'm
actually
excited
will be the
about.
character's name.
Yeah.
That was the biggest mistake. Was actually using your real name first and last.
First and last. Yeah, that's one of the things I would change about the movie for sure.
I changed my last name,
Very smart.
which was smart. And I think maybe it would have been slightly smart to change both of our first names, just so when people are talking about Emily versus Emily.
Yeah, but they didn't want us to do that.
Yeah.
So that would have been, but changing the last name would have been easy.
Would have been great.
Didn't do it.
Didn't do it.
Just did not think of it.
Until the first day of shooting.
Yeah, and that was too late because we had badges.
So it was very cute that you congratulated each other on Twitter, but what was the household moment for the nomination?
It was very early. It was 5:30
Yeah.
in the morning.
Screaming and hugging each other.
Screaming,
In
laughing,
bed.
crying.
Yeah.
And then right back to sleep. It was
Immediately.
shocking how quickly we were able to
You
fall
exhausted
asleep.
yourself.
We
You were
did.
like, oh, okay. And then fell asleep for 2 more hours.
We
It
did
wasn't
fall
just
asleep.
like a half hour. It was like a full sleep.
And our people were trying to get in touch with us to like do press, and we were like, nope, we're asleep. We are not able to do the press.
Yeah, I
whatsoever.
looked at the phone and it had 99 new text
Oh
chains.
my God.
So it wasn't just 99 new texts. Text chains.
You got 99 text chains, but a nomination ain't one. Okay, that did not work.
Nomination
that out.
was- They were all nominations.
Yeah, everything was nomination.
Yeah.
Trying to make a Jay-Z reference
Whenever
in
you
there.
hear the word 99, you try and
I
do
immediately
something
do a
with it.
Jay-Z thing with
You
it.
never
yeah.
succeed.
No, not one time.
No.
Have there been some really surreal moments since the nomination?
Yeah. I think the lunch, there's an Oscar luncheon where all the nominees kind
Yeah.
of come and do like a class photo, and you're called randomly, it's not in alphabetical order, to like come and join the group, so you don't know. And the whole time I kept thinking, oh, they've made a mistake, we're not going to get called.
Yeah, this is when you find out that we didn't actually get
It's
nominated.
a fraud. It's all a fraud, which speaks maybe to our mindsets. But once we were there and we were kind of looking around at this group, we were like, oh, wow, this is a real thing.
Yeah.
This is actually, I think that moment was maybe the most surreal one for me.
For me, getting the next couple days, you get this packet that's like your invite to the Oscars and all the other stuff. I was like, oh my God, look at this. We're going to frame all of this. And then also getting the actual certificate at the nominee luncheon that says that you're nominated. That was really cool.
That was pretty
Wow,
cool.
it's kind of like graduating from college.
It
It
felt
is.
that way. Although I didn't care about graduation nearly as much as I cared about this, I'll say.
Is it more exciting to see these amazing greats like the Christopher Nolans and the Meryl Streeps, or are you super excited to see this like new vanguard of filmmakers come in, like Jordan
Both.
Peele,
Kind of
Greta
both.
Gerwig?
Yeah, it's been a really great year, and this would have been lovely any year, but to be in a year with so many movies that we loved, there were so many movies that were so good that we adored, so it's kind of made this whole thing feel even more special, like Phantom Thread, and we're in any kind of similar category that's
But we're not.
Well, not literally, but in the category of nominees.
Yes,
Yeah.
Phantom Thread. Well, I mean, that's great. You know, it is, like, as you said, it's people like Paul Thomas Anderson and Steven Spielberg, but then also people like Jordan and Greta, and so it's a great mix. Obviously, we feel much more comfortable around people like Jordan and Greta
Yes.
than, not because of them, but we've been fans of the other people for decades.
They feel more
Yeah.
untouchable, whereas the newer people feel
We're like, this
touchable.
is crazy, right? And they're like, yeah, it's crazy. You can't say
We
that
all
to
get
Paul
to like,
Thomas
no,
Anderson.
you certainly can't.
Isn't this crazy? He's like, no.
This is not crazy.
This is my life.
This is what I do. That's true.
Yeah.
This has also been a year that, because of the political events that have happened, everybody wants to kind of politicize everybody's story. Is that a good thing or a bad thing when you're doing debut onto the scene for like the Academy Awards and everybody wants to politicize the story?
I think I don't know what it's like other years. We are certainly answering way more interesting and in-depth questions and having conversations that I think maybe didn't happen always. And I'm never a fan of like who are you rooting for? Like, what are you wearing? Like,
Yeah.
I'd rather have a conversation if we're going to be here. And, the first feminist class I took was the personal is political. That is just kind of, that's true. The personal is political. And I think that's been very true this year.
I assume that people make a lot of assumptions about how perfect life can be as a married couple. You guys are fully transparent about, the fact that you actually really adore each other and are big fans of each other, but you're also like transparent about the ins and outs of a relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're going to go back to having our personal relationship not be so public.
Yeah.
But, it's unavoidable with the movie. We really did kind of lay it all out there.
Yeah. I think I get more inspiration from, when you see celebrity couples that are like, oh, they love it, they're so perfect, it's like, that doesn't give me, no one's ever going to really be that. So it kind of sets you up for failure and feeling like you're a failure.
Mm-hmm.
So I
It's
think
work. Relationships require work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'd rather be some kind of an example of that, like it does take work and it's rewarding, but it's good.
Right.
But there was a time we were at ArcLight, and maybe we were like arguing about parking, and Kumail was like, yeah, we can't argue in public.
can't argue in public.
And I was like, that's a good
know,
point.
we're
We can't.
really
People were
can't.
like kind of looking at us, and I was like,
Honey,
yeah,
we're trying to get nominated. Like, can we talk about...
whatever floor we parked on, and who's going to hold on to the thing. Yeah.
Well, you're definitely a good example of authenticity, which is hard to find in this town.
Yeah, maybe, but I find what a lot of people do is, and I think this is good, I think people create a persona and that's what they project in public, and then in private they're themselves, and I think you kind of have to do that, and I think we need to be better at it.
Yeah. For a little bit
We're
of
too much
self-protection.
ourselves all
Yeah.
the time.
Just for a little bit of self-protection, because then you start being like, you start kind of being like, when do I get to be myself? It's a very interesting
Right.
thing to navigate for anybody, I think, especially now with social media and stuff. You're expected to be whatever brand you are all the time.
Right,
And I'm on a very small scale. You're on a smaller scale than some of the like crazy famous people, but it's interesting to, how do you navigate that? And I get to be in a bad mood and be kind of grumpy sometimes, and figuring out how that fits into your brand is weird.
Your brand.
How does this fit into my brand?
Yeah.
Okay, I have a couple of questions before I let you go. If you could complete these sentences.
Uh-oh.
If Jimmy Kimmel were to crack a joke about me, he would say, this is on the Oscar night.
First of all, I just want him to.
That would be so exciting.
That would be so exciting.
It's just so overwhelming to think about it, kind
Yeah.
of. Yeah.
I don't know, some joke about Big Bang Theory maybe? That happens to me still, by the way.
Yeah.
All the time. Yesterday, someone was like, "Can I get a selfie?" And we got a selfie, and he was walking, and he was like, "Thanks, Aziz. This happened yesterday. Happens all the time. When is it gonna stop? What's it gonna take?
stop?
Not for an Oscar. When will it stop? It doesn't stop.
It might not stop.
This is gonna be the rest of my life."
Aw.
And the rest of their lives, too.
Yeah, that's true.
We're in a club together.
That's right.
Yeah.
Here's another one. The night wouldn't be complete unless blank happens.
On Oscar night?
Oh my God. We're big Oscar fans.
I'd like an audience reaction shot.
Of us?
Yeah.
Oh,
And
the night wouldn't be complete unless we end up on the broadcast in a reaction shot.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll be like, Jimmy Kimmel just told a really, really politically risky joke.
That was awful. But that's going to get me on the broadcast.
Yeah, okay, you've established it. I gotta keep one camera on her. Very gifable.
Ooh, I'll do a lot of that action. Shoulders
Yeah.
will be what would you do? Politically risky joke. All right. You looking around, see if everybody heard the same thing? That's good. Oh, a point is good, I
Yeah.
think, too.
Like, you see this
That's
guy?
going to get us on there for sure.
Wow. Big grudging clap.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah.
Excellent. The nominee I'd like to dance with at the after parties is...
Kumail
don't dance.
Nanjiani.
Oh, nice
Aw.
one. And I said I don't dance. Perfect. So you're going to have to find someone else.
Well, thank you so much, guys. We will look for you at Oscar night.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you.
And,
We're very excited.
Yeah, The Big Sick. See it everywhere.
See it everywhere.